He tried to scam me with a brand new car. I had a better idea. The pink slip from my tech job felt heavier than it should have. Layoffs. The word hung in the air, a dull thud against the backdrop of my dwindling savings. First thing I needed, a reliable car. My old clunker was on its last legs, sputtering its way into oblivion. No way was I driving that thing to interviews. Brenda, ever the pragmatist, scrolled through online listings. Used is the way to go, Mark. New cars depreciate the second you drive them off the lot. I wasn't convinced. I wanted something dependable. Something that wouldn't break down halfway to an interview. That's when I saw it. Brand new 2023 sedan Musco. The price was ridiculously low. Almost too low. The dealership, Honest Hanks Used Cars. The name alone should have been a red flag. Honest Hanks. Brenda raised an eyebrow. Sounds legit. Her tone dripped with sarcasm. I ignored her. Hoped as that to a person. We have to check it out. Honest Hanks was anything but. A cramped lot filled with cars that looked like they'd seen better decades. Then I saw it, gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights, the 2023 sedan. It looked perfect. Victor, the salesman, oozed charm. Slicked back hair, a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes, and a handshake that lingered a little too long. This baby, brand spankin' new, just arrived. We're practically giving it away. Why so cheap? Brenda asked, cutting to the chase. I loved her for that. Victor chuckled, a practiced sound. Gotta move inventory end of the quarter, you know how it is. Your lucky day. He winked. Brenda circled the car, her eyes narrowed. The paint on the bumper looks a little off. She pointed to a slight color variation. Victor dismissed it with a wave of his hand. Factory finish, just the light playing tricks on you, sweetheart. I was already halfway sold. The low price was intoxicating. I needed this car. I needed a win. I ignored Brenda's reservations, rationalizing that a minor imperfection was nothing compared to the money I'd be saving. The paperwork was a blur. Victor kept the small talk flowing, distracting me with promises of a smooth ride and years of trouble-free driving. I signed on the dotted line, handing over a hefty chunk of my severance pay for the down payment. Driving off the lot, I felt a surge of relief. I had a new car. I could start my job search with confidence. Brenda, though, remained unconvinced. The problem started within days. A subtle pull to the right, a faint rattle in the dashboard. Then the paint. Brenda was right. The bumper didn't match. Under closer inspection, I noticed other inconsistencies, panel gaps that were too wide, slightly misaligned headlights. Panic started to set in. I took the car to an independent mechanic, a grizzled old guy named Earl who'd seen it all. He put the car on a lift and spent a good hour poking and prodding. Son, he said, wiping grease from his hands, this car's been wrecked. Bad. Looks like they tried to fix it, but it's a patchwork job. Frame's probably still bent. This ain't a new car, not by a long shot. My blood ran cold. I'd been scammed. Confronting Victor was like talking to a brick wall. He feigned ignorance, then outright denial. Wrecked. Impossible. This car was perfect when it left the lot. You must have done something to it. His smile was gone, replaced by a cold, calculating stare. I demanded to speak to Hank, the owner. Victor blocked me. Hank's a busy man, you deal with me. I tried calling, emailing, even showing up at the dealership unannounced. Victor was always there, a gatekeeper guarding access to the truth. I was stuck. Brenda urged me to get a lawyer. This is fraud, Mark. You can't let them get away with this. Mr. Abernathy's office was cluttered and smelled faintly of pipe tobacco. He listened to my story with a weary expression. Car scams are a dime a dozen, Mr. Miller. It's your word against theirs. Not much we can do. I presented him with my meticulously compiled evidence, photos, emails, repair estimates. He glanced at it, unimpressed. Expensive lawsuit, small chance of success. I wouldn't recommend it. I didn't give up. I spent weeks researching consumer protection laws, poring over automotive fraud statutes, digging into the history of Honest Hanks. I discovered a pattern: complaints, negative reviews, even a previous lawsuit. This wasn't an isolated incident. This was their business model. I went back to Mr. Abernathy, armed with my research. They've done this before. They're preying on people. We have to do something. He looked at me, a flicker of something in his eyes, maybe respect, maybe pity. All right, Mr. Miller, I'll help you, but it's going to be an uphill battle. The first step was a certified auto appraisal. The appraiser, a stoic woman named MS Davies, spent hours examining the car, documenting every imperfection, every sign of damage. Her report was devastating. The car's value was less than half what I'd paid. Structural damage, she wrote. Unsafe to drive. Now we had ammunition. We prepared for small claims court, a David vs. Goliath scenario. I knew I was outgunned, but I was determined to fight. Then I had an idea, a risky one. I bought a hidden camera, a tiny device that could record audio and video. I went back to Honest Hanks, pretending to be a potential buyer. I approached Victor, all smiles and feigned ignorance. "I'm looking for a reliable car," I said. "Something brand new." Victor's eyes lit up. He launched into a spiel about the 2023 sedan, the same lies he told me. Brand spankin' new, never been touched, best deal in town. I subtly steered the conversation, leading him to repeat his false claims about the car's condition, all while the hidden camera recorded everything. The small claims court hearing was a tense affair. Victor, with his slicked back hair and practiced smile, looked supremely confident. He denied everything, claiming the car was perfect when I bought it. Mr. Abernathy presented MS Davies' appraisal report detailing the extensive damage. Victor dismissed it as opinion. Then it was my turn. I played the video recording. Victor's face paled as his own words echoed through the courtroom, exposing his lies. The judge, a no-nonsense woman named Judge Thompson, looked unimpressed. "Mr. Rossi," she said, addressing Victor by his real name. "Do you have anything to say?" Victor stammered, trying to backtrack, but the evidence was overwhelming. He was trapped. Judge Thompson ruled in my favor, awarding me damages to cover the cost of the car, repairs, and other expenses. But that wasn't the end of it. The local news picked up the story. Lisa, a young, ambitious reporter, interviewed me about the scam. The story went viral. Other victims of Honest Hanks came forward, sharing their own horror stories. Then I received an anonymous tip. A mechanic from Honest Hanks, Gary, had reached out to Lisa. He was feeling guilty. He confessed that the brand new cars were actually wrecks, bought at auction and patched up in the dealership's own body shop. Lisa, the reporter, began doing an investigation and found proof. Detective Miller, a jaded but fair police officer, launched an investigation. He obtained search warrants, seizing sales records and interviewing employees. Victor was arrested and charged with auto fraud. Honest Hanks was anything but. The dealership faced investigations from consumer protection agencies, its reputation in ruins. I sold the repaired car with full disclosure of its history, using the proceeds and the court award to pay off my debts and find a safer, more honest used car. I could finally breathe. Brenda was incredibly proud. "You did it, Mark. You stood up to them. You didn't let them get away with it." The experience changed me. I realized I had a knack for research, for uncovering the truth. I started a blog, sharing my story and offering advice to other consumers. I wanted to help people avoid the scams I'd fallen victim to. One day, I got a call from a law firm specializing in consumer protection. They'd read my blog and were impressed with my knowledge and passion. They offered me a job as a legal researcher. It wasn't the tech job I'd lost, but it was something new, something meaningful, something that allowed me to use my skills to help others. And it all started with a brand new car that was anything but. Sometimes, the biggest scams can lead to the greatest opportunities. And sometimes, a little petty revenge can change your life. The best part was knowing Victor got what he deserved.